The Cincinnati Bengals, they made two clutch signings. T. Higgins and Jamar Chase are not going anywhere. And one of the people we could think is quarterback Joe Burrow because he was the catalyst for wanting both of them to stay in Cincinnati, and he got what they wanted. I'm here with Jalen Stubbs. We're gonna talk about our thoughts about the signing. Jalen, thank you for joining the show. How are you, man?
Yo, how's it going? Thank you for having me. I'm doing well. How about yourself?
I'm doing great, man. Can't complain. So yeah, Cincinnati, the front office, they signed Jamar Chase to 4 more years, 100 and 161 million. So he's the highest paid non-quarterback in NFL history. And T. Higgins becomes the highest paid wide receiver number two with
Hmm.
a 4 year, 115 million. A few months ago, Higgins, he switched agents. So the agent that he has is the same agent that represents Chase. So do you feel that the Bengals are now feeling the pressure of to go all in and make a run to the Super Bowl because Joe Burrow got paid and now these two guys got paid and they've missed the playoffs the last 2 seasons. Although the Bengals they did ended the 2024 season on a 5 game winning streak. So what do you make about this situation?
Well, first and foremost, we got to look at this big move that Cincinnati made. This was a great move. I feel that this was a great move because Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase, they've always had that chemistry since LSU, and they've been utilizing all that they have done at LSU for that franchise to bring that to Cincinnati. And for me personally, I put Joe Burrow as my top five in the entire NFL, current quarterbacks in the NFL. And to keep that chemistry, we've all seen how quarterbacks and receivers and tight ends, how when they build a chemistry for years and years and years, where that takes them. Look at Tom Brady and Gronk. Look at Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce. They've been playing together for years. Now, they're not receivers, but they've still been a dynamic duo for their respective teams for so long. And so I think what Joe Burrow is building with Jamar is great, and I'm looking forward to the next few years. Obviously, we all saw Super Bowl 56 when they lost against the Rams, but I saw that as definitely a building season, even for Zach Taylor. But this is a great move for Zach Taylor and the whole staff. This is a very strong wide receiver team, I want to say, with T. Higgins as well. And so I'm very happy for T. Higgins because he had a different path as far as the agents that he's had in the past and what what he was really looking for.
And T. Higgins, he's 26. He just finished coming off a great season.
Hmm.
73 catches, 911 yards, and a career high 10 touchdowns. Joe Burrow, he's in his prime, 28 years old, and he also had a big season. He threw for 4,918 yards, 43 touchdowns, and he only had less than 10 interceptions. He earned comeback player of the year for the second time in his career. So, and this all happened after a wrist surgery. A healthy Joe Burrow, he's dangerous. He's a menace. So,
Yeah.
but Cincinnati, they just got to stay healthy and, get back into playoff mode. And, but knowing what they went through against losing to the Rams, they're hungry. They want for more. And every quarterback needs that wide receiver, needs that tight end. Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase has a chance to build the legacy in terms of being in those names of great quarterback wide receiver duos like
Mhm.
Jim Kelly and Andre Reed, Troy Aikman, Michael Irvin. Those two guys have the potential to do that. They're both young, they're still in their prime. They just have to contend for a Super Bowl, which is not easy, but they have the talent, they have the group. When a group stays together for years, Um, and they build great chemistry on and off the floor. Sky's the limit for them. So, but I do feel that the pressure is on. As much that word is overused in sports, but with the Bengals, I now with these contracts, with these extensions, they have to go all in 2025.
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely agree. This past season, they were third in the AFC North. Uh, they didn't really have the best season, but like you said, the last five games, they clutched. Also wanted to throw in that Jamar had over 1,700 yards and 17 touchdowns this past season. So keeping him another 4 years, I think is only going to help the Bengals. Um, I think another thing is this move, especially like with T. Higgins, it's like that missing piece that they need. And then, Joe Burrow recovering from his injury and things like that. It's just that missing piece that they need to really get to a Super Bowl. I mean, one of the things that we have to take note of with Joe Burrow is he before this season, him and Tom Brady were the only ones to stop Patrick Mahomes in the Super Bowl or in the playoffs. They were the only ones that keep him out of there. Other than that, nobody else is touching him. You even had Josh Allen, who always loses to him in the AFC Championship or in the playoffs at that point. But now obviously we have Jalen Hurts now who uh took took the championship this year. But yeah, I that's another reason why I put Joe Burrow in my top five and having these having these receivers on his side is only gonna take him further. The sky's the limit.
I hope the Bengals the best because I like seeing new teams winning, especially small market teams. I'm always rooting
Yes.
for small market teams.
Yeah.
So Kansas City, I highly respect what they're doing. I do feel that with every great team, because you can't go on a run forever. So they've been at it for the last 5, 6 years. So losing to the Eagles we might see the beginning of a different shift switching. So could the Eagles be the new dynasty? We don't know because football is not like basketball in the sense that is predictable. Anything is not guaranteed that you're gonna go back to back and go on this dynasty. So could the Eagles be the new dynasty? Or does the Buffalo Bills finally have something to say about that? But I feel like the AFC is gonna be a triangle. I mean, there's been a mini triangle with the Bengals, Bills, and the Chiefs. But I feel that if the Bengals can just stay healthy, they can come out of the AFC, in my opinion. Although Buffalo, they did made a huge addition on defense with Nick Bosa with one of the Bosa brothers. That's a major addition to the team. So, but hey, I mean, it's football, so this
It
is a
can go
sport where a
either.
lot of injuries can happen. A
I,
lot of
I,
injuries can happen,
I will say
unfortunately. But let's see what happens.
I will say I'm gonna give the Eagles one more year, only because of what they built with Saquon, and Saquon just signed that big contract too. I think that defense is gonna get them to the Super Bowl again next year. That's my prediction. Now, as far as in the AFC, I'm not sure. That can go either way. Like you said, with Buffalo, I kind of want to see Buffalo in the Super Bowl as well. So I just think with Josh Allen, he just needs that extra. He needs more accolades, you know? He just needs more because he can he can beat Kansas City in the regular season, but every time it comes to the playoffs, that's like Patrick Mahomes knows what to do. He's got him. That's it. And it's all in here. But yeah, I'm gonna give the Eagles one more year. That's just my prediction though. But usually after 2 years, like you said, there's always like an energy shift with which teams are getting to the playoffs and getting to the Super Bowl, and things like that. So we'll see what happens. No team has yet to three-peat.